Are you looking for a new campaign world to introduce to your gaming party? Well, today I'm excited to talk to you about Thrice Nine Legends and the world of Aenar. You're probably aware that this world has been brewing for at least 20 years in the minds of John and I. We've actually written lots of fantasy novels, standalone series within this world that we have sold worldwide. So I think it's safe to say that we hold this place pretty near and dear to our hearts. But we want to be able to open it up to others to be able to play within this world too. And for that reason, we're going to be releasing lots of posts and resources on our Patreon this month to help you navigate this world with your own gaming group. But today, I'm going to be introducing you officially to the world of Aenar, the map specifically, some of the geography, and some of the history behind that world building. I'll see you after the intro.
Welcome to Dungeon Brew.
Welcome back, everybody, to Dungeon Brew. Like I said, today we're going to be diving into Aenar and Thrice Nine Legends. This is a world that John and I have played in for almost 2 decades now when we first started writing Aenarfell back in the early 2000s, which took us much longer to write than we're probably willing to admit. But we've had a lot of fun in this world. It's heavily based on Persian, Middle Eastern, and Slavic mythology. So a lot of our gods and our legend and our lore that's found strewn throughout this entire world is based on those mythos. And you're going to see, as I begin to go through the map, some similarities in like the naming conventions that we've utilized, as well as some of the histories that are found in areas of the world reflecting different regions of our known world, which has made it, again, a lot of fun to play with and probably a little bit easier for our players to immerse themselves in as they start to explore those different aspects. But John and I have enjoyed, again, just playing in this world for a long time. We've written a lot of different stories within this world. We've actually campaigned in this world several times. You've probably recently watched, hopefully, our 9th Ascension campaign that we did here on Dungeon Brew that went through a full 11 episodes from beginning to end as players went through this world, specifically within Leerheim. Okay, so let's dive into Aenar. I'm going to show you the map that the cartographer had made for us years and years ago to really highlight how this place is more than just a collection of lines and borders. Seeing the world as a living, breathing place that's full of mystery and stories that are waiting to be uncovered, I think is a really fun introduction for characters. And for Aenar, every region of this place, from the icy peaks of Alaron to the scorching sands of the Kalanov Desert, has its own unique flavor and challenges and history, which is something that you want to have your players experience. Aenar, which is sometimes called Aenar, even within our own gaming group, is considered to be a largely unexplored realm with legends and lore that are tucked away at every nook and cranny within the space on this map. It is considered to be one of the thousands of worlds within existence in a multiverse that's called Thrice Nine Lands, which is accessible through Babayega. In our book, Heishe Ol, it was actually Camilla Archer, who is a shapeshifter, that said that Babayega was the yoke that births all, connects all, and rescinds all. But Aenar overall was not as pretty as the map that we see in front of us. It wasn't the world that your players may be exploring. It was once considered to be a chaotic and shadowy place that was ruled by 8 wild forces of madness that were known as the Old Dark. And these beings wielded this raw, untamed magic called Koldastovo, who just spun chaos throughout Aenar without any purpose or direction. And it wasn't until a powerful being called Kowin, the Deathless and Immortal, that came to Aenar from another realm where he had defeated the gods there and created a structure of Aenar. He confined the Old Dark into the ash tree, made it their prison, and then created 12 gods to govern over the world's cycles and linking Aenar with the Netherworld and Thrice 10 Kingdom. That is a little bit of the history of the cosmos and the creation of Aenar, and I'm really trying to watch myself because I have like 3,500 years of history of this world that's put together with dynasties and wars and legendary heroes and everything that have ventured throughout this landmass, and I don't know how much of that you actually want to know about, or if it's just going to bore you to tears. But I do want to spend what little time we have left just to touch on the geography and the land masses within this world. It is split up into 4 different land masses surrounded by a water that is called Strega's Deep, or the ocean that is called Strega's Deep. Those 4 different land masses are Sadis Dar, Rion, Kalamar, and Tundras Moor. Each of these regions are unique in their geography, from rolling plains and towering mountains to sweltering deserts and dense jungles. The northern half of Sadistar, along with Kalamar, Rion, and Tundras Moor, is called Maharia. It is a region of extremes. The weather swings from mild to harsh, with winters that can blanket the land in 20 feet of snow, especially the further north that you go. The history of the north is rich, with 6 of the 9 races that exist within Aenar living within the northern area of the world. And landmarks like the Shadefells, the Dindair Forest, and the Nebu Sea are more than just locations. These are really where a lot of the stories and legends of Aenar reside. Haemus Mons, on the other hand, is the southern lands of Sadistar, and it's equally diverse. It does only house 3 of the 9 races, but it's a place of high humidity, dense jungles, and arid deserts. The races that live there have thrived there for centuries, defining that region with their own histories and cultures, from the plush jungles of the Missouri to the volcanic remnants of the Shadefells and the vast expanse of the Anu Sund are where a lot of the races actually live. And we'll find that in the south, if we have time to talk about this in a future video, that the 12 gods are sometimes referred to by other names in the south than they are in the north. Okay, so if you head over to Patreon, then you can read my post where I delve more into the names of these regions, what they mean, maybe where they came from a little bit, and even some historic names around each one of them. I don't know how much you want me to actually share in this video. I know what it can be like when you are caught by somebody who's just talking about something they love for hours and won't shut up about it, and I can be that way with Thrice Nine Legends. So please drop me a comment and let me know what you want to know more about. Would you like me to make a video about the gods for this month, or maybe some of the cultures that exist within this world that you would like your players to maybe pretend to be? I know John has some stat blocks and information that he can share on Patreon around those specific cultures. We've also talked about releasing some of the monsters that are specific to this world, so I'd really rather know what it is that you want me to talk about within September related to Thrice Nine Legends. So again, drop me a comment, like, and subscribe, and hopefully we will see you here again on Dungeon Brew.
Dungeon Brew.